welcome back to Sizzy Reviews. And before we even get started, spoiler alert, this is going to be giving details of the season finale. And if you have not seen it, then you probably don't want to watch this. With that being said, let's get started. So, last night's season finale of Empire was wild. There are so many twists and turns that happened during that episode that just had people thinking like, okay, where do they go from here? What's next? What's, just like, what? So, let's start with the obvious. Cookie is trying to break away from Lucius. Lucius will just not, he won't let her go. So, Cookie, and it starts out with Cookie and Lucius, and they're still having their little battle behind the scenes because Cookie is with Angelo, and they decide to host this big street gala type thing where, performance, of course, is by Empire, and Cookie puts it together, and Angelo's mother can't really stand Cookie, but she admires her ambition, but she doesn't quite know the angle of her end game, so it worries her, and it worries Lucius as well. So apparently Lucius is back sleeping with Anika, and which is disgusting, and Lucius's mom is not having it. He's like, Mom, she's like, no, trash is not going to be sleeping with my child. So Tariq the Freak got the clearance to shut down Empire's money for 30 days. So a whole big situation stirred around that, but Lucius kind of kept it on low key because he didn't want anybody to know what was going on, because he knew it was another ploy from his stepbrother to try to get Lucius to do something to slip up so he could catch him finally. And how he pieced this all together was with Exhibit Help, which is, his name is Sean on the show, and he was working with Tariq, and apparently he gave him some money, and he was supposed to keep Lucius going so that he could catch Lucius, saying that, okay, well, you took the money from him, you're doing some odd dealings, but it didn't work out in his favor. Lucius actually caught that ball, threw it back at him, and he was highly upset, and so did Sean, because they basically played Tariq, and then Sean basically played Lucius in a sense because he's snitching him out as well. So hold that thought. We'll get back to that later because there's more of that situation. So Jamal is practicing, and I noticed that he's doing amateur practicing because mostly when you become a big artist and there's millions and millions of people in the crowd, what you do is called nervous tactics, where you learn to maneuver the stage and sing with your eyes closed. So with that being said, I knew that he wasn't ready to go on stage, and he knew he wasn't ready to go on stage. Excuse me. And they devised this plan for him to make his comeback with his eyes closed singing. That way he'd be able to maneuver around the stage and everything where he wouldn't embarrass himself, but he would be able to handle it better. So Lucius got wind of Jamal performing, and he knew that Jamal was still on pills. And Cookie went to the house, took all his pills, flushed it down the sink in the kitchen. So when it actually came to the event, when she got to the house, Jamal was laying on the couch going through withdrawal, puking up his guts. Now this next part is pretty disgusting. She had to go in the pipe, pull out a pill that was all like, ew. And he popped that bad boy like it just came right off the counter, and And at that moment, when I was watching that and I was disgusted by it, I was like, wow, he needs to go to rehab, because that's serious right there. That you have to pull apart a pipe to get a pill out for your child to act normal. His world normal. So after his great performance, which he did very, very well, he was like almost back to his old self. They all cornered him as he came down the steps and was like, look, you need to go to rehab. You're going to rehab. You're done. And it was a really sad moment because Jamal, I knew he felt betrayed, but he doesn't understand that he needs that. Like, you have to, when you do drugs, in order to kick it, to come out on the other side, to see if you could even function normally again, you have to go to rehab. You have to go through the process. So that was a sad moment. Also, Lucius and Angelo's mother, they had a deal where Lucius would persuade this journalist to stop this paper that was supposed to hit the night of the street gala type thing. And so Lucius went over. They like strong armed him in a sense without touching him. They like scared him in the club, and he was all for it. He was done. He wasn't putting out nothing. And then Lucius went back to the mom and was like, okay, your end of the deal is what? So she was supposed to break up Cookie and Angelo for Lucius so he didn't have to try so hard anymore. But she realized that he was getting more votes because of the Cookie effects. And just that she's a part of the people, like all the people love Cookie, and everybody knows that. Like, everybody knows who Cookie is. So she decided to back out of her part of the deal. And of course, Lucius, being the man that he is, he graciously told her it was fine. Until after the concert, the journalist guy showed up and he started asking Angelo all these questions about a DUI that he had when he was younger, and he went into the lake with his car and he let the girl drown and he got himself out. Now, to me, that's some scummy stuff, because she was in the car with you. You weren't in the car with her. So when you got out the car, your first instinct should have been, let me save this girl's life because she didn't have to be here with me. But they didn't go into details. He just said that wasn't what happened. And the mother like kind of like pushed it out the way, and then Cookie overrided it and was like, oh, so-and-so had this, so-and-so was doing drugs, so-and-so. But it's still not the same, because she didn't know the whole story, and Angelo left her out there in the cold because he never told her the story for her to be able to back him up if it should arise one day. So after that, she was feeling a little salty, and Lucius, of course, his ego was back in place, and he walked away with a smile on his face, because he feels like Angelo is just like him. Is just that he's hiding who he is and Lucius is not. So all in all, it was a good episode. I just thought the season finale was going to be like, boom, explosive. It was just going to hit us. And when it got to the end and Andre finally let go of Rhonda and he threw his ring in the water, that was a sentimental moment, but then it was like a psychotic moment at the same time, if you know what I mean. And then out of all this that he gained, because Nessa wants him to take care of himself, she doesn't want him to be dependent on anybody anymore, like to be able to do the things for himself, just in case they ever break up, he be with somebody else, he can manage his own life from here on out. But he took it all the way left when he was like, oh, oh, his name is Shine, and I've been calling him Sean. I'm sorry, y'all. To Sean, and I said it again, to Shine in the club, and he was talking to him, and he was like, you're going to do what you do, I'm going to do what I do, we're going to put the pieces together and play, and then boom, either we or he plans on killing Lucius. And I'm like, what? No, he didn't. Not even lock him up, but just straight, like, lights out. So that was basically all of the episode in a nutshell. In the comments below, if you want me to do the whole season 3 recap from the beginning to the end, I will do it. I will make it as quick as possible, so it's not a very, very long video. But like I said, this season went out with somewhat of a bang. And Hakeem got issues, okay? That's all we're going to say about Hakeem. It's not really much you could say about him because he just bounces back and forth. Women, drama, emotional, let down, whatever. Hakeem he got issues. So on that note, like I said, if you want me to do the whole season, let me know and I will do it. And yeah, so stay tuned for the review on Star that's coming out next. So I will have that for you guys momentarily. And thank you for watching, and I appreciate all the love and support that I'm receiving on this channel. And I can't wait to do more things, big things, and take you guys along with me. So until next time, have a good night.